Hey, everybody, welcome back. This is our fifth slash fourth session of our Gauntlet Comic Summer Crossover Masters of Undar game. We missed our fourth session for various reasons. It happens. So this is our fourth, but it was scheduled as our fifth. So you might see us use both terms for it. I'm Chris Newton. I'll be use he, him pronouns. I'll be the facilitator slash GM for this. And we'll be doing kind of a brief introduction to where we are currently. Folks will introduce themselves and just maybe a one-sentence quick blurb about their characters. And we'll hit the ground running with where we left off at the end of our last live session, which was the group of Archaeonauts. Our heroes had just broken into the Willow Tree fortress of the evil sorceress Miliv. And I'll let folks go from there. Starting on my screen going clockwise, that will first come to Joe. Joe, if you could tell us quick about yourself and your character.
Hey, I'm Joe, they, them. I'm playing Nabah, the alien jungle woman, she, her.
Thank you, Joe. And next on my list would be Laura. If you could tell us about yourself and Norgar, please.
Yeah, hi y'all. I'm Laura. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm going to be playing Norgar, our cybernetic psychic mantis.
Thank you, Laura. Next on my list would be Stephen. If you could tell us about yourself and GB.
Hey there, I'm Stephen, he, him, and I am playing GB, our mechanical manservant friend, also he, him.
Thank you, Stephen. And Puckett, if you could tell us quickly about yourself and about Lionel.
Puckett, he, him pronouns. I'm playing Lionel, a metamaterial capybara, also he, him.
Okay, and we are playing through under the auspices of the Gauntlet online gaming community, which means we will be acting in accordance with the Gauntlet Community Code of Conduct, and we have previously established safety tools involving lines, veils, and the use of the X card for any issues that come up in the game that we need to deal with to keep them from causing anybody to have a non-good time here at the game table. Okay, when last we left, you guys had all just broken into the giant willow tree fortress of Miliv the sorceress on the formerly lost, now refound continent of Zealandia. And your dirigible that you had just stolen from Thrak has been destroyed by using it to bash a hole into the fortress, but you have all gotten in here now. Right now you are inside that sort of canopy shield that had been put up, and you are able to see basically a large entrance, and inside the entrance you can see like these sort of bioluminescence plants and maybe fungus life. It's tough to tell in here because the sun is shaded from inside here. Hold on just a second. Sorry, intro from the little guy. You see the entranceway. It's sort of outlined by the sort of bioluminescent fungus or something around this large entryway door. And right now the entranceway is closed. You can kind of see various other paths leading up around the outside of this of the trunk of this tree underneath the canopy where you are, and you can see other things that could be windows or other entrances farther up the trunk of this tree, or you can try to go in through the main doorway. What do you all want to do?
Nabah, you know this territory better than the rest of us.
I mean, sure. I will take charge. I will break off a branch and just like let it fall in whatever direction it points in. That's the way we go.
Okay.
And there were
Easily enough. Do you want me to randomize it a little bit and see?
yes,
see
I
where it
will
might
roll
go?
the dice.
Okay. Would you like
Oh.
to roll some fate dice, or would you like to do set this up like a create an advantage where you have your jungle-born sense of direction leading you?
Okay, yeah, that checks out. Totally. This
Would you be doing
this
it
sounds like
carefully,
clever. I
flashily?
think.
Clever? Okay.
Well, I'm not being careful. Actually, I'm not really being clever. What's the pure luck one?
Maybe flashy.
I
Basically, you're
guess
trying to
let's
show off a little bit.
yes, let us. I will roll flashy. It's like, oh yeah, I've got this under control. Everybody, this is it's old jungle trick.
Ooh.
Looks
That's
great.
a -1.
I don't know what you're talking about. It looks great.
Okay, so I think what happens here is we don't get any advantage. So I think the what happens is the stick
No,
falls.
we fall into a trap. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, well, I mean that the stick falls, and as soon as it hits the ground, it starts to grow into the ground, and it just basically you're not sure exactly what
It's
happens.
supposed to happen. It's supposed to happen.
Yes,
Don't worry.
but once that stick hits the ground, like it starts growing spectacularly quickly, and it seems to form a circle around where you all are standing, and the soil underneath starts to give way. And I think we're in our first cliffhanger.
I'm
Under
gonna
the
look at
Masters of Undar mechanics.
as we're falling. I want to look at Lionel. I'm like, you got me the wrong stick.
Okay. Basically, you guys fall into this space, and what it looks like is as you fall in, it's not all that deep. It's maybe you fall maybe about 20 feet, which is nothing to any of you really. But immediately upon you getting to the bottom of this thing, you can feel that same sort of like new plant growth underneath your feet. Like Nabah especially, like you can feel it moving, like you've encountered mid-level sorcery before. So there's definitely something sorcerous going on. The growth closes over you and it starts to slowly fill in. Like more stuff is growing in to sort of close this space. And we are in our first cliffhanger. So how would each of you propose to get out of this? Let's see. The vegetation is slowly closing in, and it's like thickly woven too. Like this is not just some sort of like nice frilly like willow tree sort of growth. This is like hard root growth. So when it comes to a cliffhanger situation in Masters of Undar, we have 5 exchanges for you guys to roll 3 successes on an overcome action. And you are all in this together. So each of you has the opportunity to make a roll to do something with regards to this. You can either choose to roll an overcome action to directly impact your ability to escape, or you can choose to create an advantage to make it easier for the next person in line to attempt a roll to overcome, to make one of those 3 successes to get you out of this. Let's go first to let's bounce over to Stephen. Stephen, GB, you're in this hole where these plants are trying to grow in and enclose you here. What do your sensors tell you might be a good way to basically put a stop to this and get you and your companions out of this conundrum?
Oh, well, I think that GB, my sensors indicate so like the plants are growing up around us, right?
Right, and they're sort of filling in this hole, like sort of like an enclosed, sort of like closing in on you, basically.
Well, but really they have while they are growing, they have a very weak root system. It is probably a fatal flaw on the sorceress's part that she went with a shallow root system plant as opposed to a deep one.
That sounds reasonable.
I'm
Now, that sounds like
I'm going to grab them up, start spinning around, and trying to uproot as many of the plants as I can.
okay. That sounds like you're doing an overcome action. Would you think this is what approach do you think you're using here?
Probably forceful.
Forceful. Okay. Forceful is probably your target number on this one's probably going to be a +3. Because these things, while they are not deeply rooted, they are very thickly growing. So ripping them out is going to take a bit of doing. Now, you are a super strong robot, so I think you've got a pretty good shot at still getting that success.
Yeah. And,
so you roll your forceful approach, and we'll see if you need to tap any of your. You do not need to tap anything, in fact. You rolled a 4, so.
When do you outcome surge?
Let's see. You outcome surge if you have the particular stunt that lets you do that. Now, I think you had super strength, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's take a look at the super strength and see if that gives us what we need. Okay. Anytime you try to forcefully overcome a physical obstacle in your path, which this is by breaking it, which you are, you can outcome surge the result. So if you would like to do that, basically you place a debris aspect on this scene, which is you're basically leaving pieces and chunks of this plant all around in this space as you're tearing it up and throwing it out of the way.
I will break them up once I am done.
Okay, so since you're outcome surging that result, I'm going to say that counts for 2 of the 3 successes.
Okay.
So you only need 1 more, and you still have 4 exchanges to get it. All right. See, Norgar, you've seen what GB is doing. Basically, they're just ripping through this plant matter, huh?
It is he.
Oh, sorry. He is just tearing through this plant matter like nobody's business, and just leaving piles of it thrown about here as he's ripping a hole through it. He's mostly got a clear path for you all to get out of there. He maybe needs a little bit more help somehow or some way. What do you think Norgar is going to do to help this? It doesn't have to be the same approach. It can be something a little bit different, something to counteract some other portion of this trap.
Okay. I think that Norgar is probably going to take up one of the branches, and I think that they're going to try to figure out like where the source of this thing is coming from. So like if there is something that's like triggering it or whatever, just to figure out where that is. I think Norgar is going to do this by eating it. And so Norgar is going up behind GB and just eating the piles of discarded plant things.
That's pretty straightforward. It sounds like you're creating an advantage, basically, not necessarily like trying to rip your way out of it or escape from this yourself. You're trying to basically figure out some way to help. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah.
Or okay?
Yeah, that sounds valid.
Okay. What approach do you think this is? This sounds like I mean, this could be a clever approach. It could be a sneaky approach. What do you think? Norgar is going for here?
I'm liking clever for this approach.
Okay. Okay. Roll clever. I think clever will have the same target number here. 3 to create an advantage. Okay, that's a 2. You missed it by 1. You can choose to succeed at a cost, or you can spend a fate point to invoke one of your aspects.
Um. Hmm. Let me see. Me. Yeah, I think that I'll succeed at a cost.
Okay, I think what happens is Norgar's. I mean, normally mantises are not vegetation eaters, and this is enchanted vegetation. So I think what happens is I think you're going to now have a mild consequence of magical indigestion. So if you could just mark magical indigestion under your mild consequence, that'll go away after basically after this scene, but it's going to cause you problems right now. But that does give you success on the create an advantage. So what happens is as both your mantoid senses and your cybernetic systems are trying to deal with this new data, I think you're able to basically get a sense with your through all of that and your psychic awareness, because every plant that Midlove is enchanting is taking on a portion of her personality. She's putting like her disdain, her anger, her frustration, like you can feel all of those things through this plant. And it seems to have locked on to Nabah in particular. So if you're thinking, if you can basically figure out some way to basically keep these plants from touching Nabah for a little while, then it might weaken the sorcery enough for the next person to get like a bonus on their roll to get past it.
Okay.
So basically this you figured out that this sorcery is keyed to Nabah. And so if you can basically take her out of contact with this plant matter for maybe an exchange, that might let somebody get a bonus to the last overcome action that you need to escape this thing.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'll probably shout to my companions. Keep Nabal away from this stuff. Get her out of here now. Don't let her touch it. It's connected.
Okay, the tricky part is, Nabah, you are standing on a bed of this vegetation as it's growing now. So this is going to be a little tricky. Okay, let's see. That being said, Nabah, you've heard that. What do you do?
I think like I hear that, I'm like, that's kind of hard. As GB is tearing stuff up at the roots, but right, like I see this opening and I see an image of the heart of the venomous paradise, and I just like rush towards it as I'm gonna compel myself and let you do whatever and grab a fate point.
Okay, so take that fate point, just add that onto your total.
Oh,
And
I will.
I think
'Cause I'm a fool.
GB, Norgar, and Lionel, you see Nabah basically turn towards that small opening that has been torn by GB's, just shredding that side of this this plant growth, and Nabah plunges through it.
That seems to be the opposite of what you recommended, Miss Norgar.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
So, Bucket, Lionel, what you've just seen that happen. What does Lionel do now?
Can I use a stunt right now? Or
Sure,
no?
sure. Which stunt you want to throw with?
Living weapon. I don't want to treat the wall as a foe.
I think we can work with that.
Okay.
Now, what does the living weapon set up for you?
I get +2 to forcefully attack when I charge headlong at my foe.
This is technically an overcome action. But because of the nature of it, and because I think GB has sort of set up an attack vector for you, as he's weakened like an entire side of this.
Okay.
I think we'll go with it. You're going to have a the same target number based on and this is giving you credit for the advantage that's created. Basically, I'm lowering your target number to 3. Otherwise, it would have been that particular action would not have been as particularly effective.
Okay.
Blunt force against this particular plant growth normally wouldn't help, but I think you're in a good space now.
Plus, capybaras can run as fast as horses over small distances. And then add +2 to that, so that gets us to 3.
Okay, and that is a success. So you are basically able to bash through, and as you come through, you see not Nabah. She wherever she went when she plunged through that opening, like she's not in this immediate area, and you find yourself in some sort of underground portion of this. We're gonna have to take a quick break now because my little one needs me to do something. So I'm gonna pause the recording, and then I'll be back in maybe 5 minutes. If everybody want to take a 5-minute break. Okay, we're back, and Norgar, GB, and Lionel, you have escaped the death trap, only to discover that your companion Nabah is now nowhere to be seen. What do you do? Let's see, let's start with Lionel. You were probably the first out of that hole as you smashed your head through it.
I shake my head a little bit to get the vines and other such growth and vegetation off of it. I look around and say, GB, are your sensors working?
Weep, weep. Activating Nabah search protocol. Triangulating overconfidence. Triangulating dashingness. Triangulating jack of all trades.
Okay, GB, do you think you're, it sounds like you would be basically creating an advantage here as you're trying to actually, set a fact, like where is Nabah?
Yeah.
Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Okay. Normally I would say sensor sweeps would be something you would be doing carefully, but it could also be clever. Which approach do you think you're working with here?
Oh yeah, if I can use clever, I'll use that.
Okay. I think it works either way. So do you have any particular stunts attached to your sensor sweep?
No.
Okay.
That's a
Well,
4.
that's definitely enough to create the advantage here. I think you, through your exposure to Nabah and the weird sort of energy pattern, I think she has in this particular reality. Like Nabah is not from Earth, and she may not be from this timeline. So she's got a resonance that I think your sensors have been able to differentiate before, and you sense her basically deep within the heart of this tree complex, basically above and farther into the tree itself from where you are now.
It appears that Mistress Nabah has moved deeper into the complex.
And in fact, if your sensors are to be correct, it sounds like she might actually be in roughly the center of where you think this complex would be based on your external observations of this tree before you crashed into it. So,
GB?
and you've got it. I think you've got.
I relay that.
Okay, you've got one free invoke that you can use on that to assist you in any actions you need to take that might be related to getting to where Nabah has made her way to.
So how do we get to where she is, GB?
So it's up at where the blimp crashed in.
It's roughly probably at that level. Like it's higher up in the tree and in the center of the tree.
Now, how in the heck did she get up there?
Mistress Nabah does demonstrate a proclivity to climb various objects.
I looked at my feet. GB, I foresee a problem.
Yes, I foresee a problem with my feet as well. Treads are not generally appropriate tools for climbing.
Not with that attitude, they aren't. How big would you say Lionel and GBR combined? Like, would a
I'm
roughly-
pretty big.
uh,
I think GB, we previously, I think, established that you're roughly the size of that Lost in Space robot. Like,
Yeah.
And I can shrink in size, but, well, mass intensifies accordingly.
Well, I thought you could like adjust your mass as well, but
I probably can.
probably can, just won't this time.
I mean, I could be a capybara the size of a blimp with the basically no ability to do much of anything. But yeah. Why are you thinking about a piggyback ride, Norgar?
that was my thought process. If I have Norgar kind of like waddles on her cybernetic legs and says, "I've got pretty strong legs. Thunder thighs, they used to call me back in the day." So I think that I can jump pretty well. Can scale a couple things.
See if you can pick up GB. If you can pick up GB, you'll definitely be able to carry me.
okay, and
If we
I
perhaps
think-
attach a set of chains or something to my treads, we may be able to affect a climbing mechanism.
And GB, I think you had previously fictionally established that you do have some jump jets.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you need to get up into this complex. You could try to go through the inside of the complex, or you could try to basically take the exterior route and just basically scale the outside of it using Norgar's leaping ability. What direction do you think you want to go in? It sounds like you're going for the leaping ability route, which is way cooler than just going up steps or something. So, just saying.
Well,
Okay.
it appears today I'm going to become a Cappy backpack.
You sound so excited.
Could Lionel basically become like a carrying system for GB?
It could be like one of those baby carriers.
I am unfortunately stuck in this form. My metamaterial transformation really only kicks in when I'm on the verge of death.
All right, we're gonna avoid that.
Okay, so it sounds like GB has given you a place to go. So now we need to just figure out a role to get there. Norgar, I think, if memory serves, I think you have a stunt that would apply to basically jumping and climbing.
Strong legs, yeah.
So that could definitely help here.
Mhm.
And possibly GB and Lionel could I think GB has given you the advantage of knowing how to get there, so you can definitely tag that stunt get you there in the quickest time, I think. So you could use the free tag that GB has if GB is willing to pass that along to you.
Yep.
And Lionel, if you would like to use your metamaterial abilities to create an additional advantage to help Norgar get you both up to where you need to be, then that could be two stunts, two things that she could add to her
Sure.
role.
I feel like this is probably clever.
Definitely.
Because I'm looking at this and trying to figure it out, and I think what I realize is that you can see a pathway through the branches, not like a road or anything like that. But if you jump from this branch to this next branch, then it's easier to get up that way instead of just trying to climb straight up. So it's almost like there's a stairway made of branches.
Definitely. And let's see. So it could, Norgar, I think your stunt keys onto, if memory serves, either forceful or quick, right?
It quick. Yeah, quick.
Okay. So for your roll to get up there, I think you would be rolling quick. And I think you get one free invoke from GBs showing you exactly where to go. And that may be enough to get you there.
But do I just roll? Do I just click roll stunt, or do I do roll quick and then add
I think
whatever?
you'd roll quick, and then we'd add the +2 to your result. And Lionel, I think you just rolled your create an advantage, correct?
Yep, and I got a +1.
Okay, that's enough to create the advantage we were discussing in this situation. So you can help sort of, help lead up there as well. So that gives you +4 to whatever you end up rolling, Norgar.
Is the 4 in addition to my stunt ability stuff?
Yes. Yeah. So
Cool.
you would add a total of +6 to whatever you roll.
Okay, gnarly.
Wow. Okay. You basically through GB basically on your back with I guess 2 of your mantis arms. Is that right? Okay. And then Lionel is just basically has hopped up on onto GB, and you spring up these things like you're in some sort of ninja anime. I think it comes off because of how well you did. You're hitting the exact branches that you need to hit, and it's keying off your leaping ability, and you just go just all the way up. And I think since you succeeded with style over what you would have needed to actually just get up there, I think you come crashing into the middle of this. It looks like a combination of a ballroom and a throne room together. And as you come throne room, that may work out given where we are. And I think you all see, when you come crashing in, you see someone who is obviously Milib, because they are just the spitting image of a pulp sorceress. They have their robes. I think they've got definitely a nature theme, and you can see just the sorceress power in this sort of nimbus that we saw before in our last comic, where you have this sort of purplish energy rolling around her. And just behind where she is, you see encased in this sort of thorny cage, Nabah, who is also in one of these nimbuses of energy, right next to this pulsing. Nabah, what does the Heart of the Meminist Paradise look like when it's basically out on display, when Milev's got it out to show off?
It's
What does it look like?
I guess all I can think of is whatever an artichoke heart looks like, because I actually don't know. I don't eat artichokes.
Okay.
But it's real big, but it looks like sort of almost petrified.
like
type
a
thing.
petrified seed kind of thing, maybe?
Yeah, but like
like
you know, it's
petrified
got like
seed
all
pod?
those like yeah,
Okay. All right. So, what the heart of the
red.
venomous paradise itself? What is it? What comic book radiation comes off of it? Like, what does that look like? Is it the
Oh,
same color as Miliv's sorcery, like a sort
oh
of
yeah,
purplish
entirely.
color?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. So basically, she's drawing all of her power from that thing now. Does
Yep.
that sound about like what she would be doing with it?
Yeah, she's like supercharged.
Okay.
It's like she's got the
And
power stone.
all right. So it's just right behind her, and you can see her drawing power off of that. Nabab, what would Miliv be dressed as here, and what pulp sorceress outfit do you think she has on to basically, as she sees it, finally put you away for once and all?
I see it
Now that
like
she has you in her fortress.
she's got like a crazy, almost Scarlet Witch type headdress, but it's like made of like wood and like you know breaks out. You know, it's entirely like wooden and like grows up like branches. She's got like the poison ivy leaf thing, but it's like a elegant gown type going on with like crazy long train.
Got you. And the train is like semi-animate, so it's like
Of,
moving of its own accord.
of course, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. What color does her outfit go with? We know her magic has that sort of purplish tint to it. What
Well,
color
I
is her
mean, it's
outfit?
green. Green goes with purple quite well.
Okay. So that's who you see, and Miliv is obviously working some sort of sorcery as you crash in through basically that. It's not a glass window. It's some sort of, I guess, sap or resin that is almost transparent as glass. So you all just come crashing in through this, and Miliv looks appropriately surprised, and I'm going to move on to move into a regular round, and I think everybody, unfortunately, everybody but Nabah gets an action in basically what amounts to a surprise round. Like Miliv is completely taken aback and isn't going to be able to act in this exchange. So each of you will get an opportunity to act. And see, Norgar, since you're carrying everyone, what do you do as you leap through and basically let everybody, basically let your teammates off your back? What do you do when you leap in and see this?
I think I probably run over to Nabah. I think I'm probably going to try to find some way to extricate her. I think I'm just gonna kind of run at the energy that's surrounding her. Maybe try to reach out mentally. I don't know.
Okay, now the stuff that's surrounding Nabah right now is a much nastier form of that form similar to that growth you guys has encountered earlier. This is like thorny, and looks and pulses with that sorcerous glow. But from your previous situation that this stuff is it does have an emotional matrix that's tied to it. So, and you do have psychic powers. Maybe there's something you can do there. How do you want to approach this? Do you want to basically try and rip a hole in it? Do you want to try and do something psychic? Do you want to basically kick the snot out of it with your super strong legs?
I'm liking the idea of doing something psychic with it. I think that's a kind of cool concept. I think I'm trying to reach mentally and try to reach out my psychic tendrils and try to find some way to cut the tie with Nabah and these thorns. I think I'm actually probably focusing more on Nabah, trying to reach out to her to see if I can cut through some of these thorns.
Okay. Let's see. I think this sounds like a clever approach to me. So if you'd roll that, and my little one is calling me again, so I'm going to have to pause, and I'll be back as soon as I can. Let's take another quick 5-minute break here. Okay, we're back, and Norgar was about to, I think, make a roll to do that. Were you able to make the roll?
No, I'll go ahead and do that now.
Okay.
And did we decide clever?
I think clever works. You could do it carefully, depending on
Yeah.
how your emotional powers work.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna use careful. And I think I might. Would this be? This is an inanimate threat, right? Like a trap.
Right. Yeah. I think it's. I mean, it's got some emotional threads you can pull because it's magical and it's tied through the heart to Miliv and to Nabah. So I think you can. You could. You could. You know, the stuff itself is not like a living thing with its own personality. It's been infused with Miliv's with
Yeah, that was my
Miliv's
question.
personality right now.
All right. Cool. Cool. All right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and roll careful then. And then
Okay, that's a 3. So I think
that. So.
I think that let's see. Hang on, I've had a blank out moment. Were we basically creating an advantage, or basically trying to trying to basically overcome and try to reach in to try and get Nabah out of this thing?
Yeah, I was trying to cut the ties that this thing had over Nabah's mental and emotional state.
Okay. Okay, I think that's enough to do that. So I think Nabah, after that action, like whatever suspended animation state you had been placed in by that by the magic tricks of Miliv, Norgar's emotional matrix has managed to basically make contact and sever whatever those bonds were that were holding you in that state. So you're still stuck inside this thorny this thorny contraption that Miliv has enchanted, but you're able to act on your own beginning with the next exchange. Okay. Next, let's see. GB, you have been deposited in here. Miliv the sorceress is standing, looking surprised near her. Near that glowing seed pod looking thing. And it looks like Norgar has is already working to free Nabah from whatever that thorny prison is that she's encased in. What do you want to do?
I mean, I guess in that case, GB is probably going to, let me, I think, so is she here? I was forgetting. I mean, the sorceress lady.
Oh yeah. She's like standing right next to, looking very surprised. Like basically, you guys just crashed your way into her throne room as she was tormenting her nemesis, and she is basically completely taken aback. So, like I said, you guys have get basically an exchange to set things up, or to make an early assault against her.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in that case, yeah, I'm gonna. Try to set things up. I think that Chibi like fires some blasts above above her head, and I'm trying to create some falling rubble and debris.
Okay, I think we can do that. Create an advantage. This could be clever. I think would work for this sort of thing. It could also be quick to show how that you're doing it before she can take any sort of magic countermeasures, that sort of thing. Which way do you think?
I was thinking maybe flashy, but okay.
Oh well, flashy could work too. That's right. You're basically, it's also part of a distraction. So yeah.
So that's a 2 for me.
Okay, that's enough to accomplish this here. She's not in a position to really defend against it at this moment, so I think you've got that advantage on her. So I'm going to start throwing a couple of things onto the table here, so that we can get these things rolling. We've got an advantage. here. And I'm going to say that the sort of throne space where the venomous heart is going to be zone 1. I'm going to say that this advantage here is going to be this this falling debris. And GB, you have 1 free invoke on that you can use yourself or pass on to someone else in the next exchange.
Okay.
All right, and Lionel, you have sprung from the back of Norgar and GB here. What would you like to do?
I was hoping I could just, jump off in midair and like land on her.
I think we can do that. Are you thinking of this as a distraction or an actual attack?
I'm thinking, can living weapon apply to this, even though I'm not necessarily specifically charging head first at my foe?
Well, you could leap head first onto her, I guess.
Okay.
We'll go with that.
All right. And then I
We'll
would
say
like to do
it's
that.
metaphorically you're charging head first. You're leaping straight at your foe.
Okay. So let's see what we get with that. Okay, that is 3 plus 2, so that is a 5.
Okay, and we're saying this is a forceful attack, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Now, because it's an attack, she will she can resist that because that's a direct assault on her. So let me go over to her and see if you're gonna need to tag anything else.
I mean, did you want to take my free invoke of that? Well, I guess depending on how she rolls.
Yeah, she could roll low enough to where you might not need to. It is possible. So. Okay. I think she's in a position to where normally she would try to defend with her sorcery and be all flashy about it, but you guys have caught her off guard. So I think she's going to have to defend with her quick approach. She's just going to have to basically be fast about it. So okay, and that's a 2. So I mean, you can you had a total of 5, so you succeeded with style on the attack.
Okay.
And she's going to take 3 stress off of it automatically. If you want to take that free invoke, you'll add 2 more stress to it.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because the setup is there. It makes her harder for her to dodge.
Means she has to take a consequence.
Okay.
Yep.
And then if I tag any of my aspects, do I get to add more damage?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
you just have to
spend the fate points. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and use the free invoke.
Okay.
And
that's 5. She's got 5 stress to deal with now, just so we're aware.
okay. And then you clearly need my help seems to apply since I'm friendly rivals with Nabah, so I'll spend a fate point to invoke that.
Okay, so that's 7.
And why not tag I'm too old for this Hubert noise?
Okay, that's 9. All right, so in order for her to deal with that, she'll have to take a severe consequence, which will remove 6 of it. And she'll have to check her 3 stress box. So.
And then I just want to sit on her and say, do you have a moment to talk about my friend Nabah?
Well, here's the fun part. Because you succeeded so well, you get a boost. So the boost is now, she currently has a boost on her that is, metamaterial capybara sitting on her back. So the next person in line can take that boost to attempt to deal with her. All right, and what let's see, what do you think the severe consequence would be? Like, maybe she injured she injured one of her shoulders. I think that's pretty nasty when it comes to a
I
sorceress
mean,
who has to
like,
do gestures and stuff.
wasn't he headbutting her?
Oh yeah, yeah. He could have basically knocked her shoulder out of joint. He could have like smashed her face all up.
Yeah.
But Lionel, where do you think you made your main impact?
I think it was probably a head injury, and she's kind of woozy
Okay.
and probably not thinking that clearly with her spells.
Okay. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna put under the severe consequence, severely concussed. And Lionel, there's now one free invoke on the severely concussed condition, in addition to the boost that you also have from your from your success with style. Okay. And I think next exchange, I think we'll start off that with Nabah, who is now newly freed from that suspended animation. Nabah, you're inside this thorny prison. How would you like to attempt to escape?
Yeah, I don't want to be in that. So I'm gonna guess I gotta overcome to get out of it. Right?
Yep.
So
We're looking
how do I
we're
wanna
looking at a
do
target
that?
number of 2 to overcome the prison. Because
Well,
she's not, the sorceress isn't in a position to resist you getting out of the prison right now. She has a capybara on her, and she is severely concussed. So you're just basically
Right.
having to get out of the prison itself.
I guess I'll just try to like burst out of it Hulk style.
Okay, you can do that. You also still have your sword because, the sorceress didn't think she'd need to remove your sword.
Okay, it's fair. Oh, then I guess like I would just cut her up because that's the smarter thing to do.
Yeah, you can cut out or you can break free. I mean, Nabah is, inhumanly strong since she is, an alien jungle woman.
Mm-hmm. It's true. But my clever is a better number, so
Okay, go for it. That's enough. That's a 2.
Yep.
You basically slice your way out in what shape do you slice out of this prison to step out through in suitably pulp fashion?
It's not like it's no Zorro type thing. I'm just like it's like using the machete to hack through the foliage. It's just like gotta get out.
Okay. All right. So basically, you just chop your way through with one tremendous slice, and this thing comes apart, and you are free. Let's see.
What took you guys so long? I found the heart.
It's still pulsing, and it's
Somebody get
still
that
obviously,
so she can't use it.
yeah, and I think come back around. Let's see. Norgar, are you?
Norgar
here?
broke me out.
Yeah, that was last exchange. Though.
Okay.
Okay. GB, let's. You've created that debris advantage now. That's been used to good effect. It's still out there though. There's still all of that stuff sort of falling from the ceiling and cluttering up the floor around her, so it's still present.
Yeah.
We also have a boost on the table right now because you have a capybara sitting on her back.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in that case, I think that GB lines up his energy blasters and lets off a blast at her with my forceful.
Okay. Make your roll. She will attempt to use her magic this time to try and do it. And there is a free invoke on that severe consequence out there, which Lionel may wish to pass to you if you need it. Ooh, you might not need it though. That's a 4 on the result. Do you have a stunt that gives you any bonuses or anything to that?
No bonuses.
Okay. All right. She's going to attempt to resist with her sorcery this time. So she like her one arm that wasn't that isn't currently pinned under that capybara is waving in this sort of sorceress sigil as this nimbus of energy attempts to deflect your blast. And she will just barely deflect it, unless you want to invoke something to push it.
And I forget what happens on a tie.
On a tie, you would on a tie basically you get a boost instead of actually doing stress.
Okay. And does she get anything for beating me just by one?
No, it's just she wins by
Yeah,
one. Now,
I don't think it's particularly worth it in that case.
Okay. If you take the free invoke, that'll get you +2, which would make her take 1 additional stress.
Oh, it would be +2 from the free invoke?
Yeah, on the severe consequence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Everything
Yeah.
goes in +2s.
Okay. I thought it was only +1 with invokes.
Nope.
No, there's one type of invoke, and on a couple of these new stunts that only give you +1, but it's because it gives you other stuff too. A
Okay.
standard invoke of any aspect gives you a +2.
Okay. Yeah, in that case, I'll if it's okay with Lionel, I'll invoke that.
Knock yourself out. I mean,
Her
knock,
out.
Miller out, but you get it.
Yeah, and I'm also going to invoke my unwilling master and servant.
Okay.
Since I am helping out Master Lionel.
Okay. So you spend a fate point on that one. That means she'll be having to deal with 3 stress.
Yeah. And that means I succeed with style, right?
Mm-hmm. So there would be another boost on the table.
Yeah,
Or
but
actually, there's also a free boost to invoke if you want to stack that
Yeah.
into the mix.
It's an attack though, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't actually get the boost. You can reduce damage to get a boost. You just cause more damage, which is always better.
okay, because when you succeed on style on a forceful or flashy attack.
Oh, do you have like a stunt?
He's got a stunt to do some of this stuff.
That's different.
Okay, so it says I can forego the boost to move the defender up to 2 zones away, which struck me as if we want to get her away from the heart, a useful thing to do.
Oh yeah, that'll basically knock her through a wall.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking then.
Okay, yeah, then that will put her through a wall. And she will take, excuse me, and she will take the 3, or she will take whatever the total stress is.
I think it's 3 then still, right?
3, okay. So she's already got her 3 stress box checked, so she has to take a moderate consequence. So there will be another consequence on her end. And I think when she goes through the wall, I think she's going to sprain one of her. She's going to have a sprained shoulder or injured shoulder. We'll just say injured shoulder.
Is that bar enough, Miss Nabah?
Hopefully. I mean, somebody needs to grab the heart.
Okay.
Magic stuff. Difficult. She might be able to still tap it into it from where she is. We don't know what spell she might have cast on it. So.
Okay. See, and
she's very powerful. I mean, she managed to catch me. So.
I feel like you were bragging there. Like she's very powerful and she's my nemesis. Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, that's classic,
Yeah. No, I know.
Define yourself by how powerful you are. But basically, GB you hit her with your full force blast, and I think Lionel just sort of rolls out of the way, and she goes careening through the wall behind her little throne into the space beyond, which looks like she had appointed it as like maybe her her personal chamber. Like it's big and roomy, and there's like a bed in there and some other things like looks like a wardrobe and things like that. And now there's debris all over the floor in there after she went through that wall. So let's see.
Everybody, keep
Norgar?
your guard up.
Norgar, you back?
I am back. Hello. Sorry
Okay.
for that.
Oh, no problem. What you have just seen the sorceress get blasted through a wall by GB's force beams. What do you want to do now? Nabaa is now free from the thorny prison. She cut her way out, and
What happened to Lionel in that blast?
I'm figuring Lionel just rolled out of the way because
Okay.
he wasn't under any disadvantage or anything.
Okay.
So
I was just chilling.
Did like a
Cappy
little
was still-
Lionel go like flying through the air just to happen to land on her back again?
However, do you want to compel him to go with her?
oh, that's right, Lionel. Would you like a compel? To say
I
you
would
got
like a
knocked
fate
through the
point.
wall too. You get it. You go. I think Lionel, you end up basically tangled up in your tiny capybara form. You are now tangled up in the ridiculously ornate bed sheets on her bed as you flew through the wall as well.
Oh, so I'm like underneath it, and I'm like trying to figure out which way to get out from underneath it, like a cat under a
Yeah,
flat sheet.
and these are ridiculously ornate sheets. Like it's almost like they're designed to be ridiculously tangled up and alluring. And they're also really like they have that's some sort of weird silky fabric, so they're slippery.
Hmm.
So they're particularly frustrating. So
You
you are
see
now
the outline
tumbled
of
up in a knot
capybara's
of bed
head.
sheets.
Just like kind of vaguely looking around, and you can tell, looking at it from outside, that the capybara is confused.
Okay, Lionel, you basically have a temporary aspect tangled up in bed sheets. And let's see, Norgar, what would you like to do now? You see the sorceress lying on the floor in that other room. She's not out, but she looks like she's definitely had better days.
Okay. I think that I'm going to try to use my mind reading capabilities and try to figure out like what's going to be her breaking point, what's going to be her final straw, and I'm going to try to use that against her.
I think okay, it sounds like you'd be going for a create an advantage against her, basically finding her weak spot.
Yeah.
Emotionally. So go ahead and make that roll.
All right.
That's probably I would guess that's probably going to be clever. You're poking around in her head trying to figure out exactly what her vulnerabilities are.
Okay.
Let's see, I'm going to be listening. I'm going to step away for just a second to refill a cup and for my kid, but I'll be hearing what you're saying. Okay.
Cool. All right. So that was a 3, and then I'm using that. So that's a 5 for that. I'm assuming that. I don't know.
Pretty good on average. A 5 is considered superb on the fate ladder. But I mean, I think she has to roll to defend or something.
Okay. A 5 is pretty good.
No.
Now I think to defend against this, she can't really use her favorite approach, which is flashy, because it's really tough to defend yourself from a psychic assault flashily like that. Only Emma Frost can really pull that off. So I think she's probably going to have to, she's going to basically have to oppose you, I think, with Clever herself. And you can decide if you want to invoke any aspect against her based on what her result is. Your total was 5. You've got 4 on her right now to create that advantage. So you would get basically 2 free invokes with with basically figuring out her weakness. Is that fit what you need?
Yeah, that sounds fantastic.
Okay. You just drive through, and because she's in such a vulnerable state already, having taken those 2 tremendous blasts and been completely shocked by your appearance here in her place of power, you just basically drill right to the heart of her. And if what you need to do is somebody else has to seize the heart of the venomous paradise and take emotional control of it. Someone else has to get it, and that will take the power away from her and leave her with just her own power, which, while considerable, is far less than what it is while she's connected to the heart. And that would probably, if she sees someone has seized the heart, that will probably make her try to flee. So, you now have a 2 free invokes on her greatest weakness, and I'll throw that onto the table as well. Okay, and Lionel. You are wrapped up in those bed sheets. Would you like to try and get out of them?
Do I need to get out of them to cause more chaos and be more disruptive to Millet?
If you run around, I mean, you
like right?
You wouldn't necessarily have to get free, but you won't know who you're bumping into.
Yeah, it's like a net, right? Because it's like a complication.
Yeah.
Start making ghost noises.
Oh, what the hell? Let's try to get out from under these sheets.
Okay. We'll say it's a difficulty of 2.
All righty. And what do you think makes sense? Clever, forceful?
I really want to see you forcefully try and get out from under these sheets. I just think that's hilarious, but clever would probably be the most appropriate approach.
Right, forceful it is.
Depends how you're doing it too. So.
Oh, you could flashily do it. You could try to jump up and spin them off.
I'm not flashy at all. But yeah, okay, I'll just roll with clever.
Have you looked in the mirror? What are you talking about?
That's a 3.
That's enough. Basically, you can describe how you basically free yourself from this tangle of ridiculously soft and ornate bed sheets.
I put my paw down on part of it and then just back away from that. And apparently luck's on my side today because I just back out, cappy butt backwards.
Okay. Everyone else, you see this adorable exit from that tangle of bed sheets on top of that oversized bed at the back of this room. And let's see. I think we're coming back around to Nabaa.
She didn't do anything.
Oh yeah. I think she's basically going to try and get up, and I'm going to spend 1 of her fate points to basically let her summon her pack of beasties, and you can hear them coming. If you're on the conflict, the Zealandia conflict map on Roll20, you can see these beasts of Millia. These are like oversized and obviously magical monster versions of normal animals. And you can hear them snarling and coming towards the room. And as they burst in the back of the room, she hisses, "Kill them all." Okay, Naba, you see these giant
Some
giant
people have
monster
no
versions
sense of hospitality.
Absolutely not.
I mean, we weren't invited, so there is that.
Well, she did send out the magic to like try to eat your blimp. I mean,
Yeah, that's not an invitation.
so Naba, you can see those you can see those animals
but
coming
I'm
in
not
the.
paying attention to them. Literally, the thing that I cared about a lot is literally like feet from me.
It's
So-
right there. You're in
yeah,
the same
so-
zone with it. You can attempt to seize it yourself.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
All right. Let's see.
It belongs in a
you can
different
seize
jungle.
it. Yeah, you basically seize it, and I think what we're going to do here is an overcome action.
Yep.
To see which of you can see if you can wrest the gem from her control.
Right?
I'll remind you there is one free invoke on the table from her latest injury.
Mm-hmm.
And
two
there's
from her,
also
well,
there's
one
also
from-
Norgar's weakness thing, and Norgar can pass along one of those free invokes to you on that as well.
Yep.
But you may not need any of them because
Yep.
she may roll terribly.
Yeah, I'm gonna just do it forcefully though, because that's when I'm like, no, I want it, because I'm not being smart. There's a lot of stuff going on right now.
I can definitely see that. Well, here's the thing. She has to try and be forceful on it as well, and that. While it's her approach and her forceful approach is not terrible, it's certainly not her best approach.
I mean, same. Ooh,
She rolled.
maybe I'm trying to be quick and race her to it.
Yeah, she's just trying to overpower you, and she rolled ridiculously well. And
Yeah,
that's
I'm
a 4.
trying to race her to it then. No, I said forceful. I'm sticking with forceful.
Okay.
Oh snap!
Well, you only lost by 1, but if you
Yeah, there's,
choose to
like-
tap that injury,
Yeah, no, like as like we're wrestling, I'll totally just slap the side of her head.
oh no, she's still on the floor. She's trying to sorcerously prevent you from
Oh,
basically
okay.
taking
Maybe
that power
maybe
from
tap
her.
her greatest weakness.
Yeah,
Is there 2
tapping-
free invokes of that?
Tapping the greatest weakness makes more sense then.
Okay. Well, I mean, her injury can interfere with her ability to maintain her sorcery too. So you can
Yeah,
tap both
but
of
like
those.
the
But we can leave
injury-
that. There's a capybara in the room that could take a bit better advantage of that.
Okay. Well, you've got you managed to overcome. You win by 1, so that's a clear victory. You now have control of the Heart of the Venomous Paradise once again.
Yeah.
And she howls as you can the nimbus of power that had been her and the Heart of the Venomous Paradise, that's now torn from her, and you now have it now. When the Heart of the Venomous Paradise is not being corrupted by Miliv's sorcery, what's our color cue in the comic for it?
Oh, I always thought like it was always just like a glowing red thing. I guess it doesn't have like the same waves because I'm not like actively using it because
We just say it has a soft glow to it,
yeah.
and it's now that sort of a healthy red color as opposed to that sort of like scary purple sorcery color.
Sure.
That sound okay?
I just
Alright.
figured it's like an infinity gem. It looks the same no matter what.
All right. So you have the heart now. So you've recovered. That's 2 items of power you have.
You gotta like
Um,
pack it away somewhere, but
Well, it's small enough to where you can definitely fit it in like your pouch. I'm
I mean,
presuming you
that's-
have like a
that's
a pouch
post battle problems because somebody might try to still grab it. You know.
Okay. So the beasts are behind you. You've seized the Heart of the Venomous Paradise. Miliv shrieks in frustration and anger. And let's see. GB. Lionel has freed himself from those bed sheets. Norgar has basically told you all that that weakness that Miliv has. Nabah has taken advantage of it and seized that object. And the sorceress and her beasts, though, are still in this fight. The sorceress is definitely the worse for wear, but those beasts that are coming in the throne room door on the opposite side from where you guys have been fighting have now come in. It looks like there are 3 of them. What do you want to do?
Well, so wait, where are the beasts coming from?
The main entrance to this throne room area, like you guys basically burst in through a window. So you're basically right there at the throne itself, and you had just blasted her through the wall into her personal chambers. There's an actual main entrance to this throne room where these beasts are now coming in, and there are 3 like really large, scary-looking monster beasts. Predators. There's like a leopard, a tiger, and a lion. Let's say.
Can I like try to force shut the doors in their face, or are they already like inside the room proper?
I mean, they're coming in, so I think
Okay.
I think you can definitely attempt to close the door in their face. They will, of course, like attempt to get in before you slam the doors, but you've got those extendo robot arms, so.
Yeah. I think this is forceful, right?
I would think so. They're definitely going to try and smash. They're going to try and do it. They're going to try and quickly leap in. So that'll be their attempt. Let me see. Unfortunately, like this doesn't play to any of their strengths, so they just have to roll a raw roll because they are an NPC mob. They're minions, not real characters. So. Dang, on a raw roll, they rolled a 3. So that's a tie. GB, if you want to win at a cost, I'll say basically that you managed to slam the doors in their face, but that's going to, because you have to slam them that hard, that's going, in addition to the blasting a hole in the wall, that's going to start to destabilize this floor. And
Sure.
you guys will be on a sharp timetable to get the heck out of here before this floor collapses.
GB's fine with that. I was going to shout to the rest. Do you think that now may be a good time to bid goodbye to who's the sorcerer's name again?
Miliv.
Miss Miliv, and make our exit?
I mean, we have to go through them.
There's
Well, there's always
a big hole in the wall.
There's always the expedited downwards direction of falling.
Well, yeah, sure. We still have to deal with her, probably. This whole place is an extension of her, after all. So we just have to be very fast.
Okay. Lionel, you are free of the bed sheets. You've heard this exchange. You've heard that booming noise as those main throne room doors are slammed shut with probably too much force. As you can feel the floor underneath, you all start to shake, and you hear that unmistakable sound of like slowly cracking wood. Because Miller's powers holding this thing together were also key to the heart of the Venomous Paradise. So,
Nabah, you have the heart, correct?
Yeah.
I think we should consider exiting as quickly as possible.
Like, didn't we just talk about? Yes.
And Nabah, when you have control of the Heart of the Venomous Paradise, this is an artifact. Do you have an idea of what the heart lets you do? Like, Miliv obviously could do lots of stuff with it because she's a sorceress, but like, what would it let Nabah do?
I probably like it gives you control over plant life, but I don't do that. It's disrespectful.
Okay, so
I refuse
you-
to do that. Others might, but I disagree.
okay, so basically, it can let you control to an unnatural extent any existing plant life.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Nabah, how could I help us escape more quickly? Do you need do you need me to run into a wall?
I mean, well, you guys did make a hole already, so we can go out that way. If your little paws can help you jump that high. Do you need a boost?
I look at you and blink. I don't
Okay.
appreciate jokes about my stature, Nabah. I don't make jokes about your stature, do I? I don't comment
It'd
on
be
the
very
fact that you-
difficult.
She
Yeah,
is
that you
she
are
is
very
excessive-
statuesque.
She is
Tall.
she is excessively tall and stunning.
Thank you. Chief.
But I don't make comments about that. I mean,
I
for
really
all
wish
I know,
you
she
would,
might
though.
consider that debilitating.
I really wish you would, though.
Unlike GB, I am not a lecherous capybara.
I don't think.
Oh, I
GB's
had meant that
lecherous.
as an insult on your behalf, Mr. Lionel. I did use the word excessively.
There's no such thing as excessive.
I hang my head and I shake it. Can we please just get out of here?
Let's see, as far as exits go, you currently have that broken resin window that you could exit through. There may be another exit at the back of this place that you've already smashed a hole through one wall. What's another? Going through the doors would probably be a problem because you'd have to basically rip them open again and then fight the monsters that are currently trying to smash their way through them. Where would you like to go?
Nabah?
What?
Do you think you can toss me through that?
Oh yeah, of
Opening
course
up
I
there.
can.
Okay.
Of course I can.
Let's do it briefly and then never speak of it again.
Okay, unless you guys want to, you guys pretty much have Miliv in a space where she's not able to actively oppose you. You've taken her source of power. She's just barely keeping this place together now without the Heart of the Venomous Paradise to abuse, to keep this unnaturally large willow tree fortress together. So, yeah, unless you guys want to do something else, like you can easily flee the scene and she's not going to be able to stop you. Is there anything else anybody wants to do? Nabah, this is, Miliv is there and is severely debilitated. Is there anything you would like to do before making your escape?
I can't think of a good one-liner or pun other than like time for us to make like a tree and leaf.
Should we
I
ask
have
about the
not
heart
heard that
first?
one before. That is very clever, Miss Nabah.
Should we ask her about the heart?
Why should we ask her?
I don't know. She's been using it. She might have some insight on what to do with it.
I know what to do with it. I gotta take it back home.
Okay. Let's just
It's not hers. She stole it from me.
I'm detecting a significant rise in overconfidence from Miss Nabah.
It's called confidence. Excessive confidence, maybe.
GB. Nabah has more than shown herself to be an extraordinarily skilled and competent adventurer and fighter and a bunch of other things besides.
You guys,
It's hardly overconfidence.
we're taking a long time talking. I mean, she's already back up on her feet.
You haven't thrown me through the window yet. I'm waiting.
I imagine that like you're like mid throw and then we stop to have this conversation.
Norgar is already out the window and shouts, to Nabat. Go long. I'm ready.
I mean, we could just do it. Does this need to be a roll, or we could just okay?
You just describe how you escape. That's where we
Yeah.
are.
I throw the capybara out the hole.
Okay, and Norgard, do you catch the capybara?
That was my intention. Yes.
Ah,
Okay,
the wonder of birth.
easily done. I think basically each of you make your way down. GB, I'm presuming you make judicious use of your jump jets to slow your descent. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wait for the
Nabab,
exact moment when Malev is about to like try to blast me with a spell as the monsters are rushing at me, and that's when I do the leap up so she hits her minions with her own spell.
Oh, classic, definitely. And she
They'll get like
screams
turned
curses
into they get turned into little trees themselves.
Yeah, they start to take root in her
Yeah.
chamber as she screams in frustration and curses you as you backflip out the window or whatever it is you do.
I got real strong legs. Real good
Okay.
at jumping. I'm like Luigi.
Okay, you guys spring down, and this fortress is coming apart without her being able to draw on the heart to power her magic. She can't sustain this big of a structure on her own. So you basically you can get out through the holes in that canopy now are large enough for you guys to escape.
Yeah.
It was trying to grow back before.
Presumably, the defenses that kept the Dino Riders out crumbling.
Oh yeah, so you can hear the shrieks of joy from the Saurians and their accompanying Dino beasts as they breach the fortress and start basically laying the torches to it. And of course you see them, Nabah, and of course your friend Sargon is with them, as he's basically like throwing like little bits of flaming rock from a sling into the crumbling tree.
I do the salute.
Yep. And
Do you think there's any chance they could give us a ride?
To where?
Wherever we have to go next, we still need to deal with Dr. Glitch, and we still need to help GB.
Yeah, no, but like, which one do we want to tackle first? What have we heard? Is there a rumor that they're suddenly working together?
well, of the well, I will say that you guys have as you're escaping, like GB, you suddenly get a response from your communique to the RUSs that you had sent out a few weeks back, basically earlier in this day.
Ding, Mr. Lionel, you have mail.
From who?
From the RUSs.
Now they get back to me. Okay, what does it say?
What does it say? I start playing it.
Okay, and it's a it's a voice message because like even though some of them are anthropomorphic, their fingers aren't really built to do keyboards. So you get a message. Lionel, which of the RUSs would generally be the one that would leave you a voice message?
The one with the punniest name.
God, they.
Putting it all on
how
you,
the heck am I
Ludin.
supposed to? How am I supposed to choose? Okay. All right. So we've got Ariel, Beaver, Chopmunk, Guinea Piglet, Minnie Mouse, and Ratdiculous. I'm going to go with Chopmunk.
Yeah, Chopmonk is like a humanoid-sized chipmunk with a big old axe. So
And
you know,
well, and
probably
he's
has the most.
and he's strictly religious for whatever religion preaches that giant anthropomorphic chipmunks should hit things with axes. And Brother Lionel, we received your message. We were in a space where we could not communicate for an extended period. However, we have news. We have managed to locate, and this is just a recording, by the way.
No, we get it.
We have, yeah, we have managed to locate one of the individuals that you had indicated you were seeking. This Dr. Glitch had been taking prisoners from various outlying communities of the Wellspring, and we had been pursuing them, and we have located their fortress. We have also noticed other entities coming and going from the fortress that seem to be robotic, not simply perverted beasts and humans with robotic parts, but fully robotic. This is not an entity we have encountered before, but there seems to be some sort of at least non-hostile communication between the two. We are going to attempt to enter their fortress now. Here are the coordinates. And GB, you get the coordinates, and it is it's not on Zealandia, unfortunately. You're going to need some way to travel between Zealandia and back to like the mainland U.S. or the mainland of North America.
Well, this is very inconvenient.
Apparently close to the Wellspring, which is where you guys began.
Do you know anyone, Miss Nabahir, who may have a ship and or a pterodactyl-based flight platform?
I know people. We can see if they have a ship. It's not normally their thing, but we'll
I
find
mean, a
out.
pterodactyl-based flight platform, though.
I mean, possibly. Look, is traveling there going to be the problem? We can just travel there, right?
Yeah, I mean that's
We'll travel.
it's just,
I know what to do, guys. We'll travel by map.
there are multiple ways to make that trip that you guys may be able to make use of. Of course, this is a comic book world. There are all sorts of rifts and ancient teleportation technology. Heck, there may be some sort of superhero that can teleport you there that hangs around here. So really, what I'd like you to do is just tell me how you guys get back to the mainland U.S. We're not going to roll for it. You can get there. It's just how you want to do it.
I mean, all other things being equal, I will like, but it's some sort of like pterodactyl, like just a massive wooden aircraft carrier just being hung from a bunch of pterodactyls.
Or like like some sort of gondola on the back of a pterodactyl. I am very much in line with this pterodactyl mode of travel.
Okay. I think basically you can salvage parts of the dirigible to make a small version of that. And there are plenty of, I think, places where you can get a hold of like superheated air to make use of in a sort of mini dirigible that's also being hauled by pterodactyls. The Saurians, I think, are perfectly willing to help out Nabaa, since you basically, from their perspective, you all destroyed that nigh impenetrable fortress that they have been trying to assault for months. So,
I mean, also from like reality's perspective, I feel like it's what we did accomplish.
I mean, we did do that, so
yeah. So they are grateful, and they will assist you in any way they can, and that's not a problem to get back there. And I'll say this, that that nimbus of energy, that portal that that had been opened by Miliv, that was a side effect of you guys crashing that blimp through her destruction spell. So that that rent in the fabric of space-time is still there if you would like to use it to make that hasty. Like, it will slowly dissipate, but basically to get you guys to where you are now, like she you know, unfortunately, like, tore a hole in space-time to bring you from North America effectively to Zealandia. You could fly back through that thing.
So we're looking around. I'm
how
like, I don't
convenient.
think we're in a rush, right? We'll go the long way.
You don't want to fly through the rent in
I guess
space-time
I guess
again?
we'll go through the rift again.
Sounds pretty epic, you know. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, it's passe. We've done it, you know. Let's
But
go.
needless to say, you guys get back. You appear you are in a Taro blimp. Oh, I'm not. Well, I guess we'd call it a Taro blimp. It's a small blimp being towed by pterodactyls that are being ridden by dinosaur people. And these are members of the Saurians that I think volunteered to come with you here and to help you finish off this this particular mission. So if you need additional help in any exchange later on, Nabaa especially, you've got one free invoke on these Saurians because they are something from your background. So they can be of assistance to you in any situation that they could reasonably show up and help you in. All right, you land, I'm presuming you basically land at Wellspring so you can triangulate where to go from there. Because the coordinates they give you are you know, based on distance from Wellspring and directions from Wellspring. So you guys can fly the Taro blimp to Wellspring, triangulate, and then get to where you're going. Norgar, what does Dr. Glitch's you know, laboratory stronghold look like?
Yeah. So I'm kind of imagining that it's like this kind of black, almost obsidian looking like material, but it's when you look closely, it almost looks like it's got these little, like, it looks like it's made out of these little chips that like computer chips, and it's just completely made out of that. And it kind of beats, like it beeps in the rhythm of anybody who approaches its heart. So it kind of has this like mechanical beep to it, but like for everyone, it sounds like it's in tune with their heartbeat. So it's kind of got this weird connection-y thing with those who approach it.
Okay, so it's super creepy when you get close to this thing. Like it starts to thrum in time with your heartbeat.
Yep.
Ooh, okay. So you guys come up and you start to hear that thrum as soon as you are able to get out of the blimp and get to this space. Norgar, is this like basically one big ground level facility, or is it in like a skyscraper type building that's been either reconstructed or repurposed? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm liking the idea of a skyscraper-y kind of feel. It's like it at one point would be considered modern, but it's clearly dilapidated now and has seen better days.
Okay, and basically he's basically rebuilt this thing, or maybe coated this thing in that weird cybernetic circuitry. Is that
Correct.
Is that kind of what he's doing? Okay, all right. So since this is a skyscraper, you guys have a blimp. You can just, you know, you can come in through the roof, or come in through any level above ground, however you guys would like to do it.
We did establish a pattern of crashing blimps into things.
You can definitely crash the blimp into this thing.
I would like to point out, just for the record, that although I am perfectly okay with jumping from a high altitude and crashing into this, your Dino Rider friends might actually find the Patero blimp useful. If we can maintain it in one piece for them, it might benefit them.
They're carrying it though. That's like extra weight. They are being very helpful to us, but
I'm just saying, who knows what they could use it for if we don't wreck it.
we could build another one for them.
This is a nice blimp.
Especially considering that you rebuilt it out of a destroyed blimp.
Yeah, I mean,
so imagine
Thrack rebuilt the damn thing. Well,
yeah,
he didn't,
imagine
he
what
had
we
somebody
could
else do it.
rebuild with the next destroyed blimp.
But that means we have to destroy yet another blimp of Thrax.
Yeah, I don't. Yes, that's a stab.
He does seem to have a lot of them.
Yeah.
Is there something wrong with me? Why is it that you want to keep doing the same thing over and over and over?
Because it works
Because it's fun.
and it's dramatic. Come
I have
on.
found that this is quite a common behavior throughout the galaxy, so I've grown to acclimate myself to it.
Thank you, GB. Finally, someone makes
I'm sorry.
sense.
Did you want to land and walk in the front door?
I just said I'm totally okay with jumping out of the blimp and just barreling through the roof. I'm just saying, let's preserve the Terror blimp for the Dino Riders.
They don't. What are they going to use a blimp for?
I don't know. Maybe they want to have maybe they have babies and they want to take babies and get them used to
They
being.
have carriers for that.
This is safe.
I love that we're establishing like baby dinos with like little baby carriers as they're flying around on the backs of these pterodactyls. They've just got like one of those little like baby
Yeah.
daddy harnesses things.
Yeah, snuggly.
Carrying babies in a blimp is that's what? This is Lionel. You've said a lot of crazy things in your life. This isn't the craziest. Anyway,
So you guys, are you going in through like, are you going to smash a hole through the side of the building by basically like leaping out of the blimp into the side of the building, or do you want to come in through the roof of the building?
I will definitely jump off the blimp. I'll agree to Lionel's proposal. We'll see what the Dino Riders do with this weight, if anything. Who knows?
Okay. Describe to me how you all super awesomely basically get into this facility. Like if you're gonna, basically swing off one of the tie lines for the blimp and like land on the building in a classic superhero landing, or if you're gonna basically do like a Spider-Man swinging through a window sort of thing. Like, describe to me how you guys want to appear on the top of or inside one of the rooms of this building by smashing through a wall. Like, how do you want to do it? Let's start with Nabah. You said you were jumping down.
Yeah.
What does it look like?
I'm doing like a swimmer's dive through a window, and then like do a little tumble
Tuck
through
and
the
roll?
air, mid-air tumble before I do like the Deadpool superhero landing, 3/4 landing.
Perfect. Okay. Let's see. Norgar, you got those super strong legs. Are you doing something similar to the leap, or are you going to do something different?
Yeah, I think that Norgar kind of wants to land on one of the sides and scale the building and then crash through the roof because that's exciting. So I think that Norgar is probably going to like chip away at the roof and then kind of crash land in whatever room that would be. I kind of do the slow head roll up as their eyes meet the camera, and they kind of the eyes
You're
roll.
growing quieter and quieter.
Oh, this is so sad. Okay. Let me see if I can fix this.
It's better now.
Yeah, you sound
Yeah.
good now.
Is this better?
It's steady. It's a little quieter.
Okay. I'll just speak loud.
Okay. Well, so basically you're trying to basically get into the same space that Nabah had landed in, correct? Or are you going in through an entirely different space?
I want to go in through the roof.
Okay. I say you basically hit the side of the building and you do like a cool like superhero run up the building and smash in through the roof. Is that what you were describing earlier?
Heck yeah.
Okay. All right. And we come up and we do the camera pan to show that to show how you come up from smashing through the roof. And it, I think we get the comic panel there with the roof debris crumbling down around Norgar as they lift their head, and those huge mantis eyes get to have center stage as their head raises from the classic superhero style landing position. GB, what how are you coming out? Are you just going to basically do like a very economical, like perfect landing on the roof and sort of treadmill your way down the stairs, or what do you think?
I mean, Norgard just said they're crashing through the ceiling, right? Or are they? I mean, I think that like GB will kind of very politely just kind of like and lightly rocket in behind them. Like
Okay.
after the big action pose, like we just see like I imagine if this were a TV show, like they don't actually have a puppeteer, so it's just like the limp puppet being lowered down on a string behind Norgar.
So this
And
very
then there's
slow
a cut,
jet
and we're
boost.
back to being animated GB again.
So we've got this sort of slowly descending with the jump jets GB just
Yeah.
right in the background of Norgar's like super cool shot. Just a
Yeah.
second, one panel later.
Yeah.
Okay. Lionel, how are you coming into this building?
I am tying a rope around my waist in a slip knot. Well, so I'm having somebody else do it for me because obviously I don't have thumbs. And I run out the opposite side of the blimp gondola, straight into midair with this rope around me. And I swing down in an arc. And as I crash through the window and I yank the slip knot loose and I go careening from wall to wall, I start singing, "I came in like a wrecking ball."
And everybody's just sort of staring because nobody knows what that song is in the future.
I got that reference.
Oh, Nabah might know because Nabah's done some time travel.
Yeah, you did.
Lady Gaga was very popular on my planet. She's from my planet.
Is that
You
Gaga?
have
Did I
never
did I
seen
completely?
you have never seen a capybara look so sad as you do just then.
I was about to say, is that Lady Gaga? I could have sworn that was Cyrus.
Oh, shit.
I had a
sad
pop culture
capybara.
blank for a second there. Okay. I thought Joe was Nabah basically yanking Lionel's chain, or did you have the same like brain skip moment I did?
We'll just.
We're gonna go with trolling Lionel.
Sounds
Well, that
good.
seems to be a classic Nabah tactic, so we'll definitely go with that. Okay, you guys are in this building. This space is kind of built, like a series of high-end corporate laboratories. Like every floor is at least 80% laboratories and experiment rooms. So like as you're going down through here, like you see like some of the rooms are like clean and clinical, and just like there's like little robotic stuff in there that looks like it's just been like sterilized and stuff like that. And then you see some rooms that look like they have been been the site of some sort of horrible crime that that masqueraded as a surgery. And Norgar, I think this is definitely like bringing back some bad associations for you here. So if you want your glitch stuff to activate, or have some emotional stuff going on that's really messing with you, I'll throw you an extra fate point here to kind of have that be playing havoc with your reactions in here. So the bad guys might have a free invoke on your emotional state when we get into a conflict.
Yeah, no, I think that would make a lot of sense. I think that probably some of the stuff that it is making up Dr. Glitch's fortress, I think is probably some of the same stuff that my cybernetic legs is made out of. And I think that they're kind of responding to each other.
Oh yeah, that thrum is probably definitely wreaking havoc with you. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Okay, add one fate point to your fate point pool. Now, as you're descending, Norgar, you've been here before. You've had to escape here before, right? So where do you think you find Dr. Glitch within this building? Like, does he have like a big, like one of those like surgery theater type places where he displays his work in progress to his hench people and other visitors? Is that where you would find him, or does he have like an office that he likes to sit in and gloat?
So I think that Dr. Glitch actually very much he lives in the basement of his own like super complex. So that's like where he is, and it's very much like a cave in there. It's like very mad scientist-y vibes. And the upper levels I think are probably like where all of his experiments are like displayed and showcased and tested, for a lack of a better word.
Okay, so as you're going down through here, like you get to his little cavernous basement area, and he's always got like his hench cyborgs around, like the cyborgs that took to the cybernetics for whatever reason, and didn't escape, and he's got a bunch of them there to like do basically his scientific mad scientific, I guess, water carrying. Like they like bring him his instruments, they move like his like the cybernetic stuff around for him. They're basically keeping captured victims quiet, that sort of stuff. So when you find him, Norgar, he is embroiled in he is embroiled in showing off his latest surgery, or his latest cybernetic surgical thing, and he looks like he's talking about it, like into like a microphone. He may be broadcasting or he may be recording. It's tough to tell, but like he's got this little sort of boom microphone that's sort of hanging down near his little operating area. And you guys come in and you can kind of see this. Like he's really wrapped up in this, so he hasn't noticed that you guys have come in yet. And he's just that. And I think he's just that way. Like he has, once he's on something, like he's locked into it. And he is talking to. With this new needle, I have managed to finally do something that I had never managed to actually do before. To fully integrate a formerly human mind into a machine without the messy organic surgery getting in the way. And next to where he is, you see this really ornate, really nice muscle car. I'm going to basically drop an image of it into our map here. It's like an old school like Dodge Charger, like really souped up. I don't know if you can see that on the Glitch Combat page there. And as you can see, like the car looks like it's got like a boot on every wheel, like one of those little like car immobilization boots. The engine is looks like it's trying to rev, but it's got some sort of hampering device on it as well. The individual still has not acclimated themselves to this yet, since their sentience was reawakened. But I suspect they will eventually grow to enjoy. And you hear a scream from inside this car, almost with like an echoey voice, like it's inside like a metal container. And it says, I can't believe you did this to my car. And you see this, you see the wheels are still trying to turn. And you see this, you see the rear like compartment, like the trunk of the car pop open. And you see this ridiculously ornate crossbow contraption pop out of it. And it tries to fire, but there's no ammo in the crossbow, so it just sort of twangs. And he says, "Yes, you'll find that I have removed any ammunition from the crossbow contraption, but we can probably remedy that once we've negotiated your position in my new hierarchy." And Norgar, you can see that he's holding this needle, and you recognize it because it has this weird sort of nimbus of energy around it that I think you can see because of your psychic abilities. That's the Starlight Needle, and he is still distracted. You guys have caught him. Like, some of the cyborgs look like they're slowly turning to notice you as you guys have entered this space. But the doctor is really wrapped up with lecturing about this car, about what he's done, putting somebody in this car, and talking to the car about the whole situation. So, Norgar, what do you want to do for your intro into this scene?
Yeah, I think that Norgar their eyes are going to lock on Dr. Glitch. And I think that everything else kind of fades away. And there's nothing but Norgar and Dr. Glitch in her mind, and she's just gonna charge this
Okay.
this son of a bitch.
Okay. Some of the cyborgs are going to try and get in your way, but I think you've got the stunt that can basically let you get past them if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say basically they're going to try and get in your way. Let me see if that's one of their things that they're actually good at, and it is not. Okay. So so they just have a raw fate dice roll to resist you.
Lovely.
And they roll a 1.
All right. So I think I'll go ahead and roll quick for this, and then I have a +2
because of your stunt, right? Okay. Okay. You beat them by 2, so you get past them.
Ooh.
So you basically do you jump over them or run past them? Like, how do you want to do it?
Ooh, I like the idea of jumping and then kind of using my wings to like direct myself a little bit.
Now, how fancy do you want to make this? Do you want to run over the tops of their heads as you're flitting across them? Because you're getting past them easily. You don't get any additional boost from it because you didn't win by 3, but you handily beat them.
Yeah, I love the idea of running atop their heads, and I think that you hear the clink, clink, clink.
Yeah, there's like 10 of these cyborg things in there. They're big, they're hulking, and they're pretty much like 99% like metal at this point. You can still see a few organic bits and pieces, but they're mostly robotic. Okay, you are close to you have managed to get into close to Dr. Glitch, like in his little operating theater where he and the car are. And there's like maybe one or two other cyborgs that are close enough in that to get to you. But we'll resolve that later. Let's see, Lionel, how do you want to come into this zone? You've got Norgar just basically sprang past all of the cyborg flunkies and is now like right up there in that operating theater zone where Dr. Glitch is.
I'm a frackin' rainbow capybara. Because I'm a living weapon made of metamaterials, I can create a free advantage once per session to be a distraction for my allies.
Now, what is the name of this distraction?
I am actually singing Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball as loudly as my little capybara lungs will allow me to do. So
Okay, I've placed.
I think singing capybara would be a good name for it to shorten it.
Okay, so we will put. I will drop a advantage in there, and we will call it Singing Capybara. And we'll say that whatever the song is, the resonance that you have placed on it is basically distracting to all these cybernetics in here. So basically, where you guys came in was at zone 3, and I'll kind of move everybody to around here. You guys came in at zone 3. Zone 2 is like this sort of middle space in this big room, and the operating theater is there where Norgar, the car, Dr. Glitch, and like one group of cyborgs is. Okay. And next, let's see. Nabah, how do you want to handle the situation? You've got two groups of like these hulking cyborgs in between you and that operating theater where Norgar and Dr. Glitch in that car are.
Well, I see Norgar, my sibling, like Mantis buddy, just rush right ahead. So I gotta rush up, give them some backup because those cyborg dudes probably aren't gonna just let them do whatever they want as they rush toward Glitch. So I gotta help defend them.
Okay. Are you going to?
They're in danger, so I've gotta risk myself to protect them.
Perfect.
And
so how do you think you want to do it?
Maybe compel myself to go rush to their aid.
Okay, so
putting myself at their mercy.
Okay, so it sounds like you will basically give yourself a temporary situational aspect of reckless disregard for safety as you plunge straight ahead.
I was going for the fate point and letting
that's what I'm saying. Like
okay,
that's
okay.
Yeah, basically, the fate point is for you doing this a little bit recklessly.
Yeah,
like
you get to determine what happens to me is basically
right. And so I think as you're plunging forward, the distraction you do, I think, is you draw the attention of those two groups of cyborgs in that middle zone. So I think you get into that zone there, where those guys are, and so you are now in zone 2 between with those cyborgs, and hopefully they will be distracted by you. We shall see. Okay, GB. You've got those two groups of cyborgs there that looks like Nabah has plowed into. You've got Lionel basically emanating some sort of sonic disruption that seems to be interfering with the various like nearly full conversion cyborgs in here. What do you want to do?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think that So I forget, what was the item we were actually here for?
That needle, the Starlight Needle.
Okay, and it's being held by what's his face right now?
Right.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, in that case, I feel like I'm gonna try to extendo arm and grab that off of him before while this is going on.
Okay. It sounds like it's going to be basically like an overcome here with you
Yeah.
guys. Basically, he's going to try and like not let you do that, and you're going to try and do that. So I'm thinking probably this is going to be a contest of quick, unless you have an idea as to
Yeah,
what it.
I probably, yeah.
Okay. Let's see what the good doctor can do as far as quick. He is not the quickest, but he rolled
Okay.
pretty well. So, oh,
Okay.
You can invoke an aspect for a reroll if you want, or you can just let that one go.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna join in with Master Lionel in the singing because I don't want to have the succeeding with style over me as well. Hopefully, this will go better.
Okay. That went
Okay.
way better.
Yep.
So which aspect did you invoke there?
The unwilling master and manservant, I just started like blaring out of my speakers, something that vaguely matched what Master Lionel is singing.
Okay. Something vaguely poppy, but maybe not the exact
Yeah.
song. Okay.
It's coming out in like a mechanized voice, so it's probably pretty awkward.
Like the chiptunes version of it.
Yes, I came in like a wrecking ball.
No. GB starts playing Lady Gaga because that's what I said earlier.
Okay.
So random digitized Lady Gaga song.
Yeah.
Okay, that manages to win. So basically, you get a hold of that needle, like surprising him, like he was not expecting that. Like just shink. Now you haven't gotten the needle all the way back to you yet, but your robot claw does have the actual needle in its pincer.
Okay.
So, let's see. All right, now the bad guys, the glitch cyborgs are going to attempt to basically attack those that they can attack. I think first off, Norgar, like that cyborg in the back there, is going to try and basically get in a position to basically get between you and the doctor. So he, basically he's just going to try and basically, do his thing of basically grabbing, grabbing and holding patients, because they're good at that. So they'll get a +2 to that. They roll a 2. You can resist with quickness or anything that might reasonably let you get away from a grabby cyborg.
Yeah, I think that quick seems reasonable. Or maybe forceful. Would that work?
You definitely
Okay.
can. You got those super strong legs. You could just jump out of the way.
Yeah, I think that I'll do something like that.
Okay, they 1 by 1, so it looks like what he does there is he creates an advantage that is grabbed. So Norgar, you are grabbed unless you want to spend a fate point to get a boost. If you spend a fate point and invoke an aspect, or invoke Lionel's free aspect, you can get a +2 and avoid being grabbed.
I can spend a fate point. That's fine.
Okay. Which of your aspects are you going to invoke to avoid getting grabbed?
I think I'm going to invoke my psychic abilities and say that I like saw the blow coming before it
Yeah, you felt
came.
his emotion. You felt his emotions tend towards grabbing you, and you're like, no. Okay. All right. So you avoid being grabbed by that cyborg. Now, the cyborgs around Nabah. Nabah, they're going to attempt to try and get a handle on you as well. And they're good at grabby stuff. So, whoa, and they are really good that time. That's a 5 to for those two cyborgs to try and grab you.
Okay. Do I even need to roll to defend? Isn't this part of my compel?
No, it can't. Your compel is basically you're right in the middle of them. So like
Okay.
you're having to
okay.
deal with 2 of them as opposed to Norgar, who only has to deal with 1.
No problem. No problem. So let's see. What do I roll? What am I rolling to defend? I guess I'm trying to be quick. Like, oh, you. Whatever. Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
Okay. They do defeat you, but they don't succeed with style. So basically, they've got you grabbed. They've got you grabbed.
I've got them right where they want me.
Okay. So next, let's see. I think that's all of the bad guys are going to act right now. Dr. Glitch is going to do something here. Let me see if this is something you guys would notice. I think you do see him basically activating something on his little watch, and you hear some various noises from around this around these operating areas as various security measures are now being deployed. And basically, he's created a free advantage for himself and his allies of building security that they will be able to invoke as part of their as part of their defenses against you later on. Okay. Let's see. Norgar, you're right up there next to Dr. Glitch now. His cyborg did not manage to grab you and stop you. So, what do you want to do?
I think that I'm probably going to try to grab him, preferably the wrist with that watch on it, and maybe try to snag that watch.
Okay. Do you want to try? You're basically trying to just get the watch from him.
Yes, and try to like hold him, I guess, in some way. Like.
Okay. Oh, okay. So, if you're trying to hold him, I'm guessing we're basically in the create an advantage move. Basically, you're trying to basically grab him. You're not actively trying to like hurt him, right? Just get a hold of him.
I mean, I'm not against hurting him a little bit, but
I'm just looking like, is the main point of the move is like you want to? Yeah, are you grabbing him around the throat and choking him, or are you basically trying to grab him and keep him from activating any other devices?
yeah, I think I'm going to try to just grab him and keep him from activating any other devices. Although putting him in a chokehold would probably do that pretty effectively.
It could. It's just the main point of the move to do damage or to contain him. That's where I'm going. I was trying to figure out like which move to roll.
Yeah, at this point, Norgar has not lost control yet, but I look forward to when they do. So.
Oh, yeah, we can get to that point whenever you decide you want to compel that particular thing. Okay, so we're going to roll to create an advantage. He's going to resist. Basically, the advantage here would be like you grab Dr. Glitch. So.
Right. I think I'll roll with quick.
Seems reasonable.
That's a
And
0.
he will likewise attempt to roll with quick. Okay, he managed to avoid that, and I think he won that one with style, so he's going to get a boost. Okay, and his boost, I think his boost is going to be that basically when you tried to grab him, like it managed to let the glitch cyborg basically get between you again. Like he managed to basically scramble around to the other side of the cyborg, so you now have to deal with the cyborg being in your way again. So you got a cyborg in the way. Okay. And let's see, Lionel, you've created your advantage. What do you want to do now?
I want to know where the heck the rats of unusual sizes are. It's unusual. It's unlike them to miss out on a fight.
Speaking of which, would you like to throw a have them show up? We established that they're somewhere around here.
Why not?
Okay. Describe. Just give us a description as to how they burst onto this scene. It took them a while to get down here because you guys basically just smashed your way through. They were trying to sneak around.
Well, but once we smashed our way through, Chopmonk realized that there was absolutely no point in continuing to be quiet, so just picked up this big old battle axe and started swinging at walls and cutting his way through. And, this wall falls and there's this giant hole in it. And there
Okay.
they are, the rodents of unusual sizes.
Okay.
Ariel,
There is one
Chopmonk,
there.
Beaver, all of them.
Okay, there's one free invoke on the table for anybody who wants to have the rodents of unusual size help them out during this exchange. Now, let's see, Lionel, do you want to take a direct action against one of the threats here right now?
I would like to create another advantage.
Okay.
I want to run around like a capybara pinball and just basically try to distract all of these opponents and cause as much chaos as possible.
Okay. Just roll me a approach, and we'll see
What
how
approach
they
do you
resist
think makes sense here?
Well, it could be any number of things. I mean, clever, to distract. Clever is okay. It also sounds like you could do quick. Heck, maybe even forceful if you're just smashing your way through all this laboratory equipment.
Ooh, no, that would actually, living weapon only comes into play when I attack. Yeah, let's just do clever because I'm trying to get them tangled up in each other. And I'm like running
Okay.
between their legs and such.
Okay.
And that is 2.
Okay. Let me see if they're able to see that they just have a flat roll because defending against getting tangled up in each other is not one of their strong suits. And you easily do it and with style. So you get there are 2 free invokes on the table for that one.
Nice.
So I'll throw another one on there for distracting capybara. Or charging capybara, since you're charging between them all. Now, are you continuing to sing?
Of course.
All right, so we've still got singing capybara on the table along with charging capybara. All right, that now let's see, Nabah, you have those 2 cyborgs that have grabbed you. You want to try and escape from the from their clutches, or do you just want to simply basically try to attack them directly?
So, I mean, they got me grappled, so I'm like, fellas, do you really want to be working for Glitch? I'm going to go out on a limb and guess you didn't ask to be cyberneticized, like my friend wasn't asked. He doesn't care about you. He's just, so like, we should just like trust in me. You work with us. We can help you out. We can get you some people to talk to, and you have to beat up your former boss.
Sounds like a social conflict move.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
I think I'm
what
going
approach are you think you're
flashily.
going for?
Well, I think I'm trying to create an advantage, I guess, because I'm passionate. And I'm going with flashy because I have a stunt.
Okay.
Wherein I get +2 when I flashily create advantages when I'm in conversation with someone.
Okay.
The advantage,
So-
I guess, I would try to create would be like, they're weighing their choices.
Okay. All right. So what? Hold on just a second. Okay. Let's see. They're going to try to resist you with careful, which they is not one of their strong suits again.
So I got a 4 total.
Okay. They got a 2, so you succeed. So would you say that the advantage there would be confused?
I mean, I think they're like internal conflict.
Internal conflict. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the 2 cyborgs there now have internal conflict.
Yeah.
All right. And let's see. My little one is summoning me again for some difficulty he's having. So I'm going to correct that. If you guys can give me 5 minutes again. Okay. Let's see. We had when we broke just a moment ago. We had just said. Let's see. Nabaf, if you could refresh my memory, what were we calling that advantage?
Inner conflict.
Inner conflict. Okay. Inner conflict of cyborgs. Okay. And you've got 1 free invoke on that, or that you can use or pass along yourselves. And they still like have you grabbed, but they're also like they're sort of like red eyes, look sort of unfocused a little. Like whereas before they were like glaring and scary robot-y, now they're like still scary and robot-y, but not glaring so much. And you hear like a thrumming noise that might be a voice, that might be them going, hmm.
Yeah. Do you want to be a
And
puppet to a man or live on your own?
like most, you get the impression like they hadn't even really considered that after what had been done to them. They're like, well, where else are we going to go? They might have been thinking that, but you put the bug in their ear through your inspirational speech. Okay. Let's see. GB, what you have a hold of that needle. I think your extendo arm has now gotten back to you. What do you want to do now?
Okay, so it's actually he has completely lost control of the needle at this point.
Right. Yeah, it's in your claw. Like he had activated security measures, but you were already drawing the needle back to you. Like the needle is something. The needle is something new for him. Like you're right in the middle of his sanctum, and he didn't build this with the needle. Like the needle is something he got later. So
Yeah.
like.
No, I know. I just didn't want him to have it.
And it's got powers. I think Norgar. What special stunt other than like it being useful for like really creepy like magic surgery stuff? What ability do you think the Starlight Needle would immediately give to whoever holds it?
Yeah, I think that this needle, it has the ability to both break things apart and like wield things together. So it's both a force of destruction and creation, I guess.
Ooh, okay. Well, that sounds super useful for if you wanted to like fix a timeline. Okay. I think here I think at this point I'm going to throw a fate point at each one of you. And GB, you get 2 because you hear a crashing noise behind you, and you see a squadron of robots, and at their head is G3. And it announces through its loudspeakers, "You obviously can't be trusted with this artifact, you fleshy moron. How dare you abuse this cosmic force to put the brain of an idiot monster hunter from the 20th century into a decrepit old car." And you hear from the
It's all
car,
right. I already have control of the artifact, so you can just leave.
and he suddenly notices you, GB, and then you get it, and that's when the extra fate point comes in, because he's now focused on you because you have the needle. And you hear from the car, "Decrepit automobile." And I think the car basically starts revving its engine again, and you can hear it trying to move around, and it's starting to actually turn the wheels with those little car boots on them, which is pretty impressive. So if anybody wants to tap any assistance from that car, like say anybody that's in the same zone as it, there's one free invoke on the table to tap the assistance of the Silas Lobomobile. So GB, you have the needle. You have G3 behind you with a squadron of its robots. What do you do?
I think that we should let G3 and our good doctor sort things out for themselves. And I jump onto the car. I suggest that the rest of you join me.
See, the car is actually, you're going to have to really jump over to where the car is, because the car is
Okay.
2 zones away from you. It's over
Never
in the
mind.
main operating theater.
Right, sorry. I forgot to have take a look at the actual map. Okay.
Yeah, you are actually closer to the exit, which is where the, where
But I
G3 and his
can
robot squad came in.
tap I can tap a whatchamacallit, a aspect to get over there quickly.
Sure. You can tap that. Which aspect are you tapping, and is it something you need to spend a fate point for?
Yeah, I think I'm tapping my Gauntlet bot out of time. I think because the timeline is a bit mixed up around GB. I like GB is kind of has this blurry like time twisting effect, and then they're over near the car.
Perfect. It works. You're suddenly basically right next to this car. It's still got those boots on it, so it can't really move around all that well. It's just sort of basically swerving its wheels really hard and revving the engine, and it seems to be able to like jerk around a little bit, but while those boots are on it, it's stuck.
Yes, allow me to help with that. And I like grab them up in my robot pincers and like pry them off.
Okay. I think that's easily an action you can do. Nobody's going to be able to actively oppose you doing that because nobody's focusing on the car. So let's see, Norgar, what do you want to do here now? GB has suddenly like time phased over to where you are next to the car. You are right next to the doctor. But he's now got that other cyborg kind of in between you again. So you can try and get around the cyborg, or you can do something else. What do you think you want to do? GB actually has the Starlight Needle now, by the way. The doctor is screaming at the cyborg to catch that damnable robot and get my needle back.
I'm really torn because I'm wondering, like, I feel like Norgar as a character probably really wants to go after Glitch. Like,
Well, that could be a compel. Like, it might be smarter to try and get away, but he's right there. When are you going to have
yeah,
a better chance at him?
Get that fate point.
Yeah,
Do
take
it.
it. Take a fate point, and you have to go after Dr. Glitch.
yeah, I'm liking that option.
Okay. You can basically you can go for an attack, but that will mean that you're kind of in the mix there with the cyborg. You're gonna have to
Yeah.
actually basically power. You're gonna have to basically get past the cyborg to get to Glitch because he's got that boost that he can tap. So basically, he gets a +2 to whatever he rolls to resist you because the cyborg's interfering. So
Okay.
you just want to go full out attack?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go full out attack. And can I also tag my Glitch here? I
Sure.
think that I'm losing control at this point.
Okay. Now, are you wanting to tag it for a bonus, or are you getting another fate point out of it? Like, basically, is it causing you problems so that you suffer a negative to your roll?
I don't think it's going to suffer a negative to my like immediate objective, which is to attack Dr. Glitch, but I feel like it'll be a negative later on.
Okay. Well, you
yeah.
might get a fate point when it comes into play later on, but right now we'll just say that that glitch is on the table, but it hasn't taken effect yet. So,
Cool beans.
You roll. I'll roll for glitch first, so you know what you got to kind of get past. And it'll be whatever he rolls on this +2. Now, at this point, he's at a space where he can basically try and do things a little bit better, but he's still kind of stuck with being with basically trying to avoid being grabbed, which really only works for him for a quick approach. So he gets that +2, so that will be 1. So you just got to beat a 1 to hit him, and the higher you roll, the more damage you do.
All right, here we go. I think I'm gonna roll with forceful, because at this point I think it's just all rage.
Okay. All right, so that you tied him, so you wouldn't normally do any damage unless you want to try to tag some other tag another aspect.
Let's see.
There's like you totally use the cyborgs with the inner conflict.
Yep, you've got that. You've also got that distracting capybara that might cause that cyborg to be distracted.
And your own aspects.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you get if you tap the 2 that have been created on the table, you get some you can tag those without having to spend other fate points.
Yeah, I think that sounds pretty good if everyone's okay with that.
Okay, which ones do you want to tag? Because you've got several. You've got 2 from Lionel.
More is always better. So
yeah, you got 2 from Lionel and 1 from the boss. That'll give you a total of +6. So that means you'd be doing 6. He would have to deal with 6 stress.
And if you tag your own aspects, yeah. If you bump up with like the bigger, you always want to do like a massive hit.
Yeah. Like the more he has to deal with it once.
Yeah, I think I'll do that, and then I can tag my own aspects in addition to this.
Yes, if you want to spend fate, if you have to spend fate points to tag your own aspects, though.
I do not mind doing that at this point. I think that I will tag my cybernetic side, and then I think I'll also tag my need for revenge. So.
Okay, so how many aspects are you bringing in for how much of a bonus?
So I'm tagging 2 of my own, and then I'm tagging the ones that are on the table right now.
Okay, so that's +10 if I'm total of +10 if I'm reading everything right. You got 3 on the table. You got 2 of your own. So that's 5 aspects, 2 plus 2 each, for a total of 10. Okay, so he's got to deal with 10 stress. That's going to basically eat up literally all he can really take. So he can check his 3 stress box to deal with 3. He can check a severe consequence. He can't, I don't think he can deal with all 10 of those at once. So I think you got him. Like, now, are you basically bludgeoning him into unconsciousness?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So I think basically you barrel past that cyborg and you just describe, how you take him out. Like, because he's basically just a weak little science guy when you get right down to it. He's got some cybernetic enhancements, but he's not a fighter.
Yeah, no, so I think I'm going to, I think that you just see a blur of a Norgar-shaped, like, whiz, just go past the cyborg and just, like, go right on through. And then I think that Norgar kind of leaps onto Dr. Glitch. And I think that we just kind of see this flurry of, like, limbs and these cries from Norgar of, like, anger and sorrow. And at the end of it, we just kind of see Norgar sitting on the ground, plucking off the watch from Dr. Glitch, and I think also taking a token. Dr. Glitch always wears this kind of ear cuff that kind of dangles down, and Norgar's taking that off and putting it in their pocket.
Okay, like Glitch is, basically unconscious on the floor as soon as you drop him. So he is out. Let's see, we're at 5 after 11. GB, G3 is back there with his squad. And it looks like it looks like he is here to try and claim that needle. Norgar, you're there in that same zone with GB now. GB, let me ask you this: do you think G3 would have brought the watch with them if they were going to try and go up against another person on their same power level?
I mean, we need to wrap up the story.
Yeah,
like
that's
we're
what
at
I'm
the
thinking.
3 hour
I'm thinking
mark.
they would
So
have it with them.
Yeah,
So.
sure.
So
No need to even ask.
you guys have taken care of Glitch. Like he couldn't legitimately deal with 10 stress in one fell swoop, given who he is. G3 is a lot tougher. That's taking out him in a squad is going to take each and every one of you. So I'm going to ask each of you to give me a quick narration of how you deal with the squad of robots, with all of your allies present, including the cyborgs who are now like Nabah. After Glitch is down, they're like, well, we might as well join up with you guys. So you've got some cyborg allies, you've got the RUSs, and you've got all of your own personal abilities. Like, I'm gonna ask each of you to give me basically one way that you take out some of the opposition, however you want to do it. And we'll start with you, Nabah, and then GB. I'm going to let you kind of narrate how you deal with G3. Okay. Nabah, you've got those 2 cyborgs there that you've talked into helping you. You've got a squadron of killer robots coming at you. How do you take out a few of them?
Leading the cyborgs into battle.
Okay.
Let's take them out for freedom.
And the cyborgs, fight for you, and they fight dirty and ugly. Like, they're basically tearing robots apart as soon as they get their hands on them. Let's see. Lionel, I'm going to presume that you and the RUSs are basically running headlong into all these robots.
If it's okay, I'd like to create an advantage for somebody else to use by running through load-bearing walls so that it makes it easier to bring the ceiling down on all of the robots at once.
Okay, we all do that. Basically, we're in a narrative phase to wrap up this particular conflict. So,
Sure.
yeah. So basically, you're knocking things over, getting in the way, and the RUSs are smashing robots, left and right. Norgar, glitches down. You've got these other robots to deal with. How are you dealing with this squadron of killer robots that is now busted in?
Yeah, I think that Norgar is probably going to try to hack into the watch, and try to figure out like a way to manipulate the surrounding walls so that they kind of collapse in on the robots.
Okay, I think you can do that. You've encountered enough of Glitch's technology before to where you kind of have a sense of how it works. And plus, you've been built by him too, so your cybernetics interface with his stuff, unfortunately and sadly well. So so basically, the security systems that he had activated, you're able to quickly turn them against the robotic invaders and deal some handy smacks to them. Finally, G3 is there, and they've got that watch. So they're basically they're using it to basically speed up their clock rate. So they are acting with superhuman speed, even more so than they would normally have access to. But you've got that Starlight Needle that can break and rewrite reality itself. How do you take out G3 with that?
How do I do this? I think as we kind of see like time, like I almost feel like time is fracturing a little bit at this point, what with all the time antics going on in the room right now. And I think that like as like G3 is manipulating the timeline, I'm wondering if maybe it's starting to break apart a little bit, and like GB has to like start using the needle and their excellent cross stitch skills, as we established with the throw pillow that they made for Master Lionel, to like knit the timeline back together. And as we see like the G3 falling through the cracks in the timeline, GB like is able to grab the thing from them.
Okay. And as G3, gives the robotic version of a curse you.
Wilhelm scream, robotic Wilhelm scream.
Yeah. And we see them basically get slowly knitted out of the timeline. You now have all of the artifacts you need to basically fix the hole in the timeline that these articles being being separated, I think, cause. So how what we know what each of these things do here. So I'm going to ask each of you to kind of describe how your particular artifact helps to basically repair this damage that has been done to the timeline. Because we just talked about how messed up time and space have become here with the Starlight Needle here, with the watch here, with the Heart of the Venomous Paradise being transported to Earth, and with the with that time lost gauntleteer bandolier of pouches, basically being co-opted. I'm going to go kind of around here and ask each of you to tell me just very briefly how your particular artifact figures into basically repairing the timeline. And it could be as simple as, we destroy the artifact and its influence is lost, or we put the artifact back where it's supposed to be, and the damage is able to be repaired. Let's see. Lionel, you had that bandolier of pouches still wrapped around your little capybara body. How does the bandolier come into play here to help repair the damaged timeline?
Because literally anything that anyone needs to fix the timeline can be pulled out of it.
Okay, so it's a walking advantage factory.
Yes, it's Deus Ex Pouchina.
Okay, so basically all of these all sorts of things are being like pulled out of these pouches as we're going through. Let's see. Let's come around to let's see. GB, you were already sort of talking up kind of the way, kind of sorting out this timeline. Tell me, now that you've got the watch that basically lets you manipulate time itself. How are you able to bring that power to bear to help repair the timeline?
Well, I do not want to.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I thought okay. Yeah, well, I do not want to impose upon Mr. Norgar's ideas, but we do need a means of navigating the timeline if we are to repair it. I cannot while we can navigate it to some degree, I cannot guarantee where each of us will emerge when all this is said and done.
Okay, so the watch is kind of letting you move to the spaces you need to get to in the timeline in order to kind of fix these holes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And let's see. Nabaa, what do you think needs to happen with the Heart of the Venomous Paradise? What needs to happen there?
Needs to get returned to the planet, so that later on, when the Gauntleteer is supposed to show up to borrow its power, it is there.
Indeed. So we know what has to happen with that, and we've got the Time Crisis Watch to help you move through the timeline to put things back where they're supposed to go. Norgar, you've got the Starlight Needle with the power of creation and destruction at its very tip. How do you use that to basically help repair the timeline? We talked about sort of knitting time a little bit earlier. Are we doing stitches in time now?
Yes, I think so. I think that there is a special place that you have to go in order to, like, where all, like, time and space kind of overlap, and that's where, like, this stitching can take place. And I think that that's what needs to happen.
Okay, so what do you think you would need to do first? It sounds like the most straightforward thing to start off with would be to return the Heart of the Venomous Paradise. Does that sound reasonable? It seems to be the most straightforward thing to do is put the heart back where it's supposed to be, right? I mean, Nabaa, does that sound right to you?
I mean, sure.
Okay, so you can use the watch to travel there. GB's got that part covered. The watch can move you back and forth in time and space. And Lionel, you know where sorry.
No, it's just like Nabaa's like, all right, well, bye everyone.
Well, we figure this is kind of coming together, and you're sort of moving things to where they need to be, and at the end of all of these things being put where they're put back in the spaces where they're supposed to be, or would be anyway. You guys are sort of in this interstitial interstitial, time space zone where you're all still together because you had to do all these things together. And you're about to have to basically, let go of the timer on the stopwatch to let the timeline reset itself. So how do you guys say goodbye? Because you're not sure where you're going to end up after GB lets the timer go, and this timeline reasserts itself.
Capybara nuzzles, just rubbing up against everybody.
Just pat the capybara on the head. Okay.
Let's see, Norgar.
I think that Norgar just kind of like bows their head to each individual, and I think that they are too caught up in it. Yeah, I think they just kind of say, "I will always be with you all. I will always sense you, and you will always sense me. It's been real."
And
I hug Norgar. Oh, like I said, I pat Lionel on the head. GB, I guess I'll see you in the Pangalactic War. That's later for you.
GB, how do you say goodbye to your companions?
Goodbye, everyone. And Naba, I will be seeing you in the
Yeah, sorry for that spoiler.
I was going to say in the
Oh, you got a spoiler for me?
oh yeah, I can't come up with anything though.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh well.
Oh, you could say basically, GB leans forward and like whispers something to Naba, and they have a look of surprise on their face
All right.
as the watch lever
Oh,
is
right.
released.
Yeah.
And I think the watch release, and then we have this sort of fade out, big comic book explosion panel as we have this sort of reset of the timeline, and the sort of like a Big Bang panel. Basically, we have like little fragments of the story that we've seen so far from each of you, and little fragments of the artifacts and their history, and where they end up. And at the end, we kind of see just like one single comic panel of each of you back in the space where you were supposed to be. And just give me that comic panel. It's an action panel, no words, just like mid-act, just a scene. It can be something actiony, it can be like contemplative. Just give me that one panel. Let's see, Lionel, we'll start with you.
I wake up. I'm in a lab. There are humans wandering around. It doesn't look like the future, or at least not a post-apocalyptic one. And I promptly run outside, and there's cars everywhere and people walking around chattering on cell phones. And I breathe a sigh of relief and say, finally, I can get some ice cream.
Are you still a capybara?
I'm still a capybara.
Then it's a happy ending.
I believe you mean a cappy ending?
A cappy ending. Let's see, Naba, what is our in
So
panel?
I'm gonna do a little twist on it's a prelude for some other next event that might or may not happen, but it's like her in space with like, you know, an old Flash Gordon type jetpack and just like the glass helmet, but otherwise just completely exposed. But she's got like one of the laser blasts as she's in the middle of like the Battle of the Cosmos, fighting off like an alien invasion that's trying to sweep across Gauntlet Comics.
Perfect. Let's see. Norgar. What is our panel from Norgar?
Yeah, I think that we see Norgar kind of like creeping their way through this kind of I guess almost like a abandoned farm area, and then just like wandering all around are folk from different like races and stuff, but all of them seem to have this like cybernetic like aspects to them, and Norgar's just kind of like smiling, kind of like waving their little pinchers, and I think that we see a kind of mantoid smile kind of creep across her face as she walks through the fields.
How do we tell it it's a happy mantoid smile? I'm curious. Like,
I don't know. Okay, I'm trying to.
is there like a
look at-
position of the eyes that's particularly like joyful, like for the mantoid?
Yeah, I think they kind of perk up maybe a little bit, and then I think that like if you look really closely, like the little tips of the mouth are kind of like upward, but like the antennas are kind of like woo, 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 kind of like a tail wagging.
Awesome. GB, where's our panel for our Gauntlet bot?
Oh, I mean, is it okay with Lionel if we still do that bar scene we discussed way back when?
Sure.
Could be an ice cream bar now.
Yeah,
And I'll be standing on the table eating ice cream.
yeah. With the fake mustache so that people don't realize that you are the same Lionel.
I mean,
And a monocle.
are we in the past or the future?
I thought we were back like in relatively like Lionel's like original Lionel, OP Lionel present day.
Yeah. So okay, so yeah, ice cream parlor. Sure, I'll put on a monocle and I'll put on a mustache and probably a little bowler hat so I look very dapper.
Yes, and GB now has like a scoop hand instead of the pincers to scoop out ice cream.
Not a word about like the cholesterol impacts of ice cream or anything like that. Nothing about about my health with the ice cream.
No, I'm only programmed to offer advice on tobacco usage.
Okay, so ice cream I can have all I want. Glad we got that cleared up. No one would want cigar flavored ice cream. What a horrible thing. Why would you even say that?
I mean, people eat coffee flavored ice cream, so.
Look, coffee is tasty to eat.
I enjoy coffee. I will never admit that it's anything other than disgusting, and that my enjoyment of it is a problem on my part.
It's entirely a caffeine based interaction.
I mean, I would eat coffee ice cream with chocolate covered espresso beans. I'm just saying.
I love coffee ice cream as well. I'm just saying.
Cigar flavored ice cream is so gross sounding.
I'm just trying to think of like even how that flavor would work.
Oh,
I honestly,
But-
I think the closest you could get would be like some sort of tea leaf ice cream or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, I think we have our ending panels. I really appreciate all of those from all of you, and I appreciate you staying a little bit over with me to help get us to this point where we've wrapped up the crossover. I know we missed a session, and I'm glad everybody was feeling up to our session tonight so that we could get this wrap up for everybody. And sorry if everything went through a little more rushed, because I wanted to get everybody a chance to have their moment with their nemesis and get all of that sorted. I appreciate everybody, and I appreciate you going through this Fate game with me, going through Masters of Undar and coming into Gauntlet Comics, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Good night, everybody. I'm going to close the recording here, but thanks everybody for watching, and thanks to all of you for participating. I really appreciate it. I've had a great time.